A new series descends on LSR TV here at South Boston Speedway, located in South Boston, Virginia, as it's the kickoff of the American iRacing League, aka Season 2, if you will, of the On the Rail Paints Fall Brawl. This is the continued one. This is the American iRacing League live on LSR TV, your home for sim racing and CRN sports. Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Rentz alongside Charles Wooten in the production truck and announcers booth. Charles, we have a doubleheader here tonight. 30 laps for the AIRL Legends for their season opener, and then the nightcap on the night will be 75 laps here in the super late models for the AIRL, their season opener. Both of them coming right here at South Boston International Speedway.
Yeah, two very different types of racing going to be here at South Boston Speedway. And of course, before we get into all the racing information, we got to thank the sponsors that make it all possible. Of course, first and foremost, you got to be thanking Ryko Motorsports for the fixed setup here for both series. Again, both series are fixed setups provided by Ryko Motorsports, so definitely give them a big shout out. And the one full disclosure, we have been struggling with, we've been trying to figure this name out, is I don't even know if I want to butcher it. I think I'll let you do it, Greg, to try to pronounce that designs company.
You're gonna let me come out and try to get this right. All right, I'm gonna go with Fabulous Sight Designs, and if we are saying it wrong, please let us know in the chat, and F's in the chat for if we mispronounce that. I'm going with Fabulous Sight Designs, and if that's wrong, please let us know. But no matter how you pronounce it, thank you for your support here of the series and LSR TV, and please let us know if we are saying that correctly. Yes, well, Charles, legend cars and super late models here tonight at South Boston Speedway, one of the crown jewel short tracks in the nation. Did not get to run a 2020 season with everything going on, but virtually this track has been busy. This track has seen all kinds of action. One of the staples of legend car racing. I have a couple legend car wins here myself, so I've been looking forward to this ever since it was announced that South Boston was the season opener for the legend cars. This is a fun little track in these cars. This thing is a lot of fun, very bumpy racetrack. You got to be up on the wheel the entire time, primarily in turn 2. That's where it gets really bumpy here, Charles.
Yeah, this track is bumpy. These cars are hard to drive as it is. We didn't get to talk to any of the drivers here, as you know, the plane ride here was a little rough too, and we came in just a little bit late here, so we're just getting into our booth. It's not that booth there that you see on the screen. That one's kind of run down, but ours is up there. You see us in the white little tower up there, but anyway, it's a rough track. These cars are hard to drive as it is. Should make for an interesting race, as you see the 20 spinning there. Hopefully we don't see too many cautions. Of course, caution laps not going to be counting in the 30 lap race. They will count in the 75 lap super late model race. Again, that race is going to be brought to you by Smith Wraps and Graphics, or that whole series is per se. So again, I mentioned it as we got just a few seconds left before qualifying. Same track, two very different cars. Could make two very interesting races.
30 laps the distance here in the legend car main event. Again, like you just mentioned, caution laps do not count in this one. Unlike what we saw last season in the On the Rail Paints Fall Brawl, no heat races tonight. Everybody is locked into the field. Charles, we're looking at 18 entries here for the legend cars, as the bottom two, not the bottom two, but Olsen and Wallace that you see on screen not going to be racing tonight. We're going to start things off with the Fall Brawl champion in the legend cars. This is Tyler Payne in the number 18. He's kind of the mastermind behind this series as well here, Charles, putting everything together here, this Legends and Super Late Model series format. Tyler Payne kind of getting things started with us here.
Yeah, and I did misspeak earlier. I told you, and you said it out there, but again, that Jeffrey Wallace is racing here. I didn't know. I knew he is one of the founders, but I thought maybe Race Control as well to have two, but he's not. He is racing, so we'll be checking in with him in a little bit. He's fourth fastest at the moment. We'll make that fifth as Moorcroft's going to take it to fourth, as Tyler Payne currently is sitting at the top with a 16:2:32. So again, some really quick times coming here. They give him 5 minutes to get around this track, Greg, but quite frankly, you're not going to need but maybe 45 seconds once you get on the track.
You can see right there all qualifying laps thus far in the low 16-second bracket here. 16.2, 16.5 is the window right now. First to 10th on the board. Still Tyler Payne, the champion of the Legends in the On the Rail Payne's Fall Brawl Series. Jumping up in the second, putting pressure on is Spokane, Washington's Jonathan Tuckness. He won the Irwindale portion of the Fall Brawl in the Legend cars. Always a threat in this series, including a second place finish in the All-Star race that we broadcast on All-Star TV from Richmond a few weeks ago. Tuckness, another driver you got to keep an eye on in the series for sure. He looks like he is second quick right now. 13, make it 14. Drivers have gone out so far, still waiting on just a couple more before we turn them loose. And my eyes are on the number one of Robbie Keneally. Has not hit the track yet for qualifying. He's out there right now on his first qualifying lap in the number one. He was fastest in practice, and speaking as a driver who primarily races Legend cars in the official servers on iRacing, this kid is fast in these cars, as he's going to rocket to the top of the board in his Rocket Racing entry. Number one, Robbie Keneally, 16.217. Keep your eyes on the California kid.
Yeah, he is number one on the card, number one on the track, and we'll see if he's number one when it's all said and done, as he is going to bring it to a stop. As we have Ryan Matthews out there. As also we have Dennis Warren's out on track. He's going to run a 16.392 to put him in 12th now, as Robert Warren's going to take it to 8th place. Ryan Matthews still out on track in the number 51. He'll be putting in his first time here in just a few moments. Still a minute 45. Again, that is plenty of time to get around this track.
He's only going to get one lap, and it's going to be sixth. He did not get a time on his first lap. Something must have happened on the qualifying lap. 16.279. Look at that, Charles. First through eighth, all within 1/10 of each other. 6 cars in the 16.2 bracket. Talk about a tight field. The entire field is spread out in qualifying by just 0.3 of a second for this 30-lap main event.
Yeah, that is insane to see that. And well, of course, you got your fast times there. You can see it. 0.344 separating first through 19th. That is a very, very small margin by any racing standards. We got about 55 seconds left here. I think it's a good time, as everybody has qualified. We'll step away, thank the sponsors for making it all happen, and we'll be right back here in just a few moments after a little station identification.
ETE Reman is the world's best remanufacturer of transmissions for import and domestic cars and trucks. Based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, our customers are repair shops, auto parts stores, dealerships, and distributors. And with 6 nationwide warehouses, we're where and when you need us. So when you're looking for a transmission that is like new, only better, instill confidence and install ETE Reman.
Welcome back to South Boston, Virginia, everybody, for 30 laps for the Legend cars for season premiere night here for the AIRL, the American iRacing League. Charles, we're getting set to grid here as you see the field on track. About half of them have gridded thus far. 18 cars going to be lined up for 30 laps. Caution laps do not count here tonight as let's take us through the starting grid here at South Boston Speedway.
And your ComServe Wireless starting grid. Row 1 going to be Robert Keneally, and the number 18, your defending champion, number 18 of Tyler Payne. Row 2 going to be the 83 of Jonathan Tuckness, and the 14 of Tanner Griffith.
Starting off in the 5th position will be Jake Perkins in car number 59. To his outside, Brian Matthews was the final car to take time in the number 51. The first car to not go, 16.2, will be the 33 of David Polins, who's on the side of this row. Jacob Putman in the number 3. He starts inside of that row in 7th.
In the 5th row is going to be the 95 of Robert Warrens. And on his outside, going to be the 2 of Derrickson Pawlowski. I believe they're Pawlowski. We'll have to clarify that one as I lose my voice a little bit. Row 6 going to be the 77 of Heath Ropp and the 80 of Cody Moorcroft.
Looking at about 20 seconds before we get rolling with Dennis Warren's in unlucky position number 13, Eric Steele to his outside and in number 32. Jeffrey Wallace, I was under the impression he was admitting this race. That's why I said he was not running. My apologies on that one. He starts in 16th position with Travis Hoffler in 17th. In the number 20, William Klingbeil and Luke Brown round out this 18-car field here. So we did have an extra car pop in here that we missed just before the race.
Yeah, I believe that was one of the Warrens that jumped in right at the last minute. I believe it was Dennis Warrens that popped in very last minute. But regardless of when he got here, he did get here in time, and that's what matters. As we are just moments away from taking the green flag for the first time here. It's a night. Again, the season opener here for the Ryco Motorsports American iRacing League. And again, before we go racing, we want to remind everyone that as Fabulosa Designs is your primary sponsor here for the Legends race, and of course Smith Wraps and Graphics for the super late models. We'll be getting to that one here in just a little bit, but to Greg, it's time to drop the hammer and get these little things going as the little pack of bees are going to be taken to the track here soon.
Yeah, I love legend cars at South Boston, one of my favorite tracks. I've got some wins to my credit here. As they roll through 3 and 4, the field is going to be in the hands of Robbie Keneally as the pace truck ducks off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the legends to rise at South Boston. We're underway here in this 30-lap main event.
It's going to be a good one here. Let's get a wide angle if you can. There it is. And look at them already going 2-3 wide back here. They are not holding anything back. Again, 30 laps is all you have to get to the front right now. It is Keneally out front, followed by Payne, Tuckness, Griffith, and Putman going to be your top 5. And look at them, single file for the front, but the back of this field to mid of this field, it's still side by side. They are not letting anything go. They know they have very limited time to get to the front.
You want to talk about Hornet's Nest, this is it in its idealness. One car on pit road already is Travis Hoffler in the number 20, and William Klingbeil, the 82, having some issues in this one. So we're already off to kind of a whoa start here in this 30-lap main event. Working lap number 3 right now. Robbie Keneally leading the way in the number 1, but the fall brawl champion of these cars, Tyler Payne, right behind him. And again, Payne kind of the mastermind behind putting this deal together, and looking forward to covering legend cars on LSR TV. We got a big wreck off of turn number 2, right around 5th spot. Someone got up in the wall. We have a massive wreck. Cars upside down, cars hitting the wall, and we are under a yellow flag for the first time tonight. You saw Jeffrey Wallace up there in the number 16 to 95 rolling away. Swag replay on screen for the first time. Charles, let's figure out what in the world happened.
Yeah, I saw somebody, I believe it's a yellow car. It wasn't this yellow car. There's another one out there, and we'll see right there. The 14 gets loose, and it was that yellow car. And just utter destruction as we get one loose. And you know, this track is not the biggest track. It's a little bigger, pardon me, with these legends, but even then, you pile 2 or 3 of these up, and it's like 5 o'clock traffic.
Well, we host this. I'm a league admin for a Smash to Pass league that runs here on iRacing. It's called the West Coast Smash to Pass. This is our home race track. We do more races at this track than any other, and we have plenty of experience when it comes to that clog up if there's a big wreck, so we know exactly what they're talking about. If you get a couple of cars facing sideways in here like we just had there, hitting the wall, flipping around, there is nowhere to go, and you just gotta hope, pray that you can get through this mess early. Under caution here, working lap number 5, I believe. Yes, we are. Caution laps do not count. 4 in the books. Robbie Keneally has led all 4 of them thus far, but Tyler Payne was putting the pressure on number 18. No fast repairs in this series, so drivers caught up in that incident will have quite a bit of work to do with the damage on the race car. And let me tell you something, Charles, when you have damage on these cars, they become a big handful to try to wheel around.
Yeah, and you got to keep in mind, as we mentioned earlier, they're already a handful. Now, imagine having damage on one of these and trying to handle it. It's not an easy task. You know, they're not the biggest horsepower car out there, but horsepower to weight, these things are powerful. They do not weigh a whole lot, and you put as much horsepower as you do or you have in them, and you know they're basically little rocket ships, and they take off quick and they wreck even quicker.
Race truck is still leading the way here around South Boston. Robbie Keneally has led all 4 laps thus far. Tyler Payne on the outside in the second spot. How about the number 3 behind them here, Charles, in row number 2? Putman already up 4 positions in the number 3. Lights are out on the Chevy Silverado, so we're going green this time. Then you're going to find Tuckness making up row number 2, but the field's going to be back in the hands of Keneally as Pace Truck ducks off. We're going green flag racing again.
We are indeed going green flag racing, and they're going to be side by side once again. Don't see how long it takes them to spread out. And so you go back a little bit there. You got the 94. Oh, and he gives a shot to Tyler Payne, and he goes upside down, barrel rolling. There's the caution. I was wondering is he goes for all and hits the wall, goes over the pit wall.
I really hope he does not have virtual reality goggles on right now, because that would make you sick if you are on board with him in that one. Let's take a look at the swag replay that started right off the get-go here in turn number 1. Payne up there, first car on the outside.
Oh,
ooh, the 3 getting into him first, and unfortunately Tuckness nowhere to go, and then they're just along for the ride here.
Yeah, and you know, oh, good.
I said we're going to spare you, and we're not going to go on board with Tyler Payne, because that would just upset anybody that had motion sickness here in this one. Under caution for the second time here tonight.
Yeah, definitely a shorter race, but it's going to obviously be drug out a little bit longer here because of the cautions. The caution laps not counting, but yeah, you know, it looked like from one angle the 94 just punted him right into the wall. However, when like you pointed out when we went to the replay, of course, the 3 actually gave him a little bit of shot in the shorts, and then the 94 really had nowhere to go, and you know, you have the split second to make a decision. He didn't have time to lift, and of course that ultimately pushed Tyler into the outside wall, but no fault in the 94, and you know, probably no real fault of the 3 either. You know, it's a racing deal. He barely tapped him, but these cars, they're so light and so free as it is that, you know, the slightest little bump and you're going around or going into the wall anyway.
And it can just be, like you said, the slightest bump sends these guys for a ride. That's going to move Tuckness second, as Putman has been given an EOL penalty. So Keneally still leading the way. Tuckness up to second. Remember, Tuckness and Keneally, they were your winners at Irwindale. Tuckness in this car. Keneally won the super late model portion of that race. So keep your eyes on these guys here in this one. Keneally still looking for that legend car victory here in the series.
Yeah, and by the way, we are getting reports from the crew over there, I guess you could say something like that, of the number one Robbie Keneally, no longer with Rocket. He actually founded a new group called Reaper Setup Shop, so his very own setup shop. So he took what he knew and he put it to good use, and now he's running for his own setup shop.
Well, there you go. Reaper Setup Shop on board the number one of Keneally. Green flag out, and he is getting a good chance to showcase those Reaper setups here, or showcase that knowledge, I should say, as Ryko Motorsports builds all the setups here for our AIRL series. We want to thank them for their support here of the AIRL. We get one lap and we get another caution here in this one. Another caution for the third time here tonight.
And taking a look, see if we can figure out where it came from, and not seeing anybody off pace here at the moment.
Hearing Tanner Griffith might be having something to do with it in the 14.
Go back and take a look, and he does have damage.
He was keyed up in driver communications right when the caution came out. There's a little bit of contact with Wallace, and yeah, Wallace and Griffith get together, and unfortunately the three nowhere to go.
Yeah, you know, all things considered, after the shot there, he did a very good job of, maintaining it, keeping it going in the right direction. So that's good for him. And I just want to point this out here real quick as we're under caution quickly again on lap number 7. Is there something with setup shops? Have you noticed the setup shops lately, other than McConey, who is just out there with a totally different name? You have Rocket, you have Ryko, and now you have Reaper. Is there a thing that you have to start your setup shop with the letter R?
Who knows? I mean, Rocket, Ryko, two of the big ones here on iRacing. Ryko really coming into their own. Rocket has been one of the top setup shops on iRacing for quite some time. Them and McConey probably the two biggest ones on the server right now. Robbie Keneally starting his own with Reaper. So I don't know, you could possibly make that argument that hey, this is what's going on. You want to start a setup shop? It has to start with the letter R.
If that's the case, I declare right now, Greg, I'm going to start on my own setup shop, and I'm going to call it Rubbish Setups.
Oh, would the setups indeed be a bunch of rubbish?
They would, because I don't have a clue.
There you go.
I mean, if you bought one, the name is exactly in it, so you couldn't complain it was bad, because, it's bad.
Hey, one thing you would never be accused of is false advertising.
This is very true.
Caution here for the third time tonight. Robbie Keneally has led all 6 laps thus far. Looking like we may have made the switch to single file restarts here, Charles. Wondering if they do have a 3 caution rule. Looks like that is exactly what's happening as we're back on their green single file. So the race directors have elected to go single file restarts for the remainder of this race. Keneally leading the way in the number 1. And Matthews to the inside of Toughness, but Matthews has some damage on the left front as well. That kind of damage is not really going to affect the drive of your car, but it will, however, cause some aero issues coming up for the 51 if he's not careful.
Yeah, he definitely has to be careful. It can cause a little car to spin out just a little bit easier than it already was, and they've got that 94 pinched up to the top. And again, the 94 not showing on our screen. I believe that is actually the 80, the 59 possibly. No, you're right. It is the 83. That is Tuckness, but he's got the 94 on the car. So running a different number than he has actually assigned to him in the league. So we'll have to remember that going forward. But Keneally's still out front, and really as the caution comes out once again, he had a sizable lead, and it's going to be the 33 and Palens and Klingbeil getting involved in this one as we take a look.
Caution in this one. Swag replay on screen. This was deep in the field. Was contact right there. between the 33 and I believe that was the 95. AC sponsored me on the back of the 33, looking for sponsors, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. Let's take another look at our aerial coverage brought to you by All American Pools. Charles, what happened here?
And you're about to see the 33 coming up right here. He's coming in to a little bit of a battle. He sneaks in there, doesn't quite make it, and then he full sends it right here, just slides up, and there, it just taps clean bell just a little bit, puts him into the outside wall. And you know, in all honesty, the 33 of David Plenz really got the worst end of the deal.
Tough break for Plenz. He's one of our drivers that I believe is going to be pulling double duty here tonight, Charles, in both the super late models and the legend cars. Again, several of our drivers will be racing in both, but we do have some drivers that are just running the legend car race and some drivers that are just focusing on the super late model series. So we will see how they do. And for the legend cars, it is you're able to get some track time, but these cars, take it from me, drive entirely different than a super late model.
Yeah, they definitely drive a lot different. You know, and really, when you have a fixed setup, we really can't say how these cars are driving. We can give you a general, you know, knowledge base of how they should be handling with a proper handling setup. You know, not saying Raikos are not properly handling by any means, but of course, you know, we don't know how they're handling. Is the car loose? Is the car tight? Typically, you know, what we know about Raiko, he'll give two setups, one for qualifying, one for the race. So again, they could vary. This car could be tight on them, it could be loose on them. You know, we haven't seen too many people just blatantly spinning out. So Greg, if I was to venture to guess, I would say they're probably a little more on the tight end.
Well, if it's who I think it is building the Raiko setups, then yeah, it's going to be a very, very well handling race car. It's who I believe it is in the Raiko shop that built this setup. Back under green here, Keneally, Matthews, Perkins, your top three right now. Matthews having a nice run in second position despite that damage on the number 51. This toughness to the inside of Perkins for the third spot. Again, 94 on screen, but 30 or 83 on the ticker. Not sure why the switch up there as he's to the inside, gets a nose in front. This is the battle for third as we're closing in on halfway.
Yeah, we got one going around. Caution is out. It's going to be Luke Brown in the 23 machine. As we'll go take a quick look at the swag a replay here just to see what happened. And he just tapped the wall right there. That's not what caused it. We'll see. He's got the three behind him. We know the three's already been involved in one caution here. Question is, was he involved in another one? And no, I think that might have been
There was a little bit of contact there, but I want to see another look at that because we had someone's hauler in the way. That was one of the super late model haulers in the way there. Let's take a look again from the All-American Pools blimp. If we can't figure out what happened here. This is going into turn number one.
And it, you know, it looked like a little bit, maybe there was a little bit of netcode there. We'll see if that was the case or not. And no, there was not. From one angle, it looked like it. From the other angle, you were right. That was just straight contact. Got to his back bumper and just hooked him.
So around he goes. Caution again, just past halfway, or just prior to halfway, excuse me. Bobby Keneally has led every lap thus far. Number one. We're going to be 2 laps from halfway when we take flag. Working lap number 14 when we go green. Keneally, Matthews, Perkins, Tuckness, Pawlowski in the top 5. That's going to be my shot at that one.
Yeah,
that's your top 5 rundown right now. And
I know we got quite a few people out there watching. You know, this is typically not the trend here for the Raiko Motorsports AIRL. You know, they typically have some good green flag racing. They'll have a caution or two, and then they'll get it together. You know, I would say maybe these drivers are a little rusty. They hadn't been racing, but they literally went from the final race, an all-star race, and here they are back again. There was no break in between. for these guys. So, rusty, maybe not. However, they're used to starting only 15 cars. They started 19 here tonight. So a few more. I don't think that's really the issue either. I think these guys are just maybe a little more aggressive here tonight.
A little antsy because it's the season opener. Only 30 laps on the board. You don't have a lot of time to get up to the front here in this one. The object might be here if you're near the back to just try to stay out of trouble, and I think that's what your guys like Pawlowski, Ropp, and Wallace have been trying to do in their cars as they work their way inside the top 10 after starting outside the top 10 among others. I think that's going to be the goal here for this race, is just stay out of trouble. Pace car is going to duck off. We're going to take the green flag, and the Reaper is going to hit the gas and go for it again. But look at how Ryan Matthews is able to stick with him this time.
Yeah, the 51 is not letting Keneally get away too far. And so we'll see if he's able to run him down again. It doesn't matter how many laps you lead, Greg. You know this as well as I do. It only matters which one you lead, as we'll be officially to the halfway point next time by. Well, there, right there, 16 of 30. We're at the halfway point, and still it's Keneally out front. But now you also have Jake Perkins trying to make something happen, as he's having a little bit of an issue there with his connection. And Jonathan Tuckness, someone you can't leave out any time to, I'm really surprised we haven't seen him up at the front trying to battle for the lead, but he's still in fourth and a solid top 5 here tonight.
A very nice run here in the number 94 for Tuckness. Irwindale winner in the Legend cars this past season, the Fall Brawl. This, of course, the rebrand as the caution falls once again.
And
18.
Tyler Payne involved in this one again, as we take a look here at the Swagger replay real fast. And Tyler seemingly by himself. I think somebody else may have had a little bit of issue and he got involved in it, and we're about to find out.
Defending champ of the Fall Brawl knows how to get his way around in the Legend cars, and yep, there's the smoke. That's all you needed to see right there as he gets into one car. It's one of the black and green cars. There's a couple of those out there, still trying to figure out exactly who that was. Maybe Klingbeil. Hoffler in the number 20 that we're watching right now, several laps down, was the 20.
Yeah, no, you would be right. Klingbeil is actually out of the race now, so Klingbeil probably was the one involved. That's why we can't get to him, because, well, he's not on the racetrack anymore. He has packed it up, and, well, if he's racing in the next race, he doesn't have a very far drive to get to it. Grab himself a cheeseburger at the concession stand, and he can be ready for the Super Late Models here in roughly about 35 or so minutes.
Well, they're going through tech right now, so he would be able to get some get through tech a little earlier than normal as we get ready for this Legend race to complete. Can the Reaper, Robbie Keneally, take the season opener here in the Legend cars?
I definitely, I think you can. He's obviously been just wicked fast here so far. His best lap is currently a 16.304. Was his best lap on the race, and looking, that is the fastest lap, I do believe. However, Jake Perkins ran a 16.308, only 0.004 seconds slower on their fast lap. So does Jake Perkins have something for Keneally up at the front?
Well, the problem for Perkins is he has to get around Ryan Matthews to be able to do that, and he's only going to have 12 laps or so to be able to take a shot at Keneally.
Yeah, we saw this last night in the Northwest Truck Series. Again, I don't think, and I know for a fact, Jeff Stabenow did not do it on purpose to the 37 of Anderson. However, I told him I would have. If somebody is slower than you, you give them one shot, that's, I'm here. 2 shots, this is your final warning. 3rd shot, you're going around. You're in my way, you're slowing me down. And right now, Matthews, his last lap was actually about 0.3 slower than the car behind him. So if you're Perkins, you really need to get past that 51 and make it move. Although right now they're all running fairly close to the same times.
10 laps to go. This time by for Keneally in the number 1. Trying to pull away a little bit from Matthews. Remember, Matthews also does have that damage, missing the right front on the number 51. And it's now beginning to open up a little bit. It looks like it takes Keneally's car a couple laps to really get going. But boy, once he gets settled in after a couple laps, this number 1 car really begins to take off. As we are going to have a battle for the lead, or second. Perkins is going to get around Matthews. So now he's able to get by. And now, can the 59 of Perkins try to reel in Robbie Keneally? Going to be working lap number 23 this time by 22 in the books. Can Keneally get up there in the number 1?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a task.
Tuckness.
Yeah, it's going to be a big task if he wants to get up there. We'll see. The real question is, are we going to get a late race caution here with about 5 laps to go? Actually, about 6 laps to go here in this race. So he needs to, but would that caution help him if he got it? Because like you mentioned a while ago, Keneally not necessarily good on the starts. His car takes a little bit to get going. So would that allow Perkins to capitalize off the restart of the race and get the lead, and all he's got to do is hang on for a lap or 2?
He would have enough time to try to get around Keneally before Keneally's car gets going. 5 laps to go. And there it is. The caution is out. So we're about to find out here in this one. Hearing Jonathan Tuckness may be involved in the number 94. Taking a look at the swag replay.
Yeah, Eric's still involved in this one as well. As we'll take a look and see. That's that number 32 machine. He is already off the racing surface, so we'll see. They were definitely a hornet's nest right behind him, so this is why I'm curious how he got involved in this one and just broke loose right there. And
he got knocked out of the park.
Yes, that was a straight home run right there. And so we're going to take one more look at this here. Watch the 32. We're going to go from a different angle here. And this was, I believe, on the front stretch where it happened. He's all by himself and just straight home runs. Here in just a minute, you'll see it. And he fortunately just gets loose and breaks it loose. And right there, he goes over and home run.
Well, hopefully he's able to land safely at the International Space Station, is Eric Steele, and try to get back down in time for the next race, be it the Super Late Model race or be it the next week here for the AIRL Legends.
Yeah, he definitely...
Race number 2 coming up.
You know, well, we did get word they have cleared the landing field for him, so it's just a matter of when he comes down. You know, I do believe he has. He is, if we can get a view, he's sitting on pit road, so he lost a bit of his car on re-entry, but he is back with us.
Good to have, because gotta ask him what it's like up there at the top of the stratosphere, and if they could actually see the Great Wall of China from up there. I have to ask him confirmation on that here at some point. But Keneally leading the way. Perkins, where did Jake Perkins go in the number 59 here, Charles? He's back behind Tuckness right now. What's going on with Perkins and Matthews? Why are they back there?
That is a very good question. To my knowledge, nothing happened to either one of them. As we'll take a look and see if we can figure it out what might have happened. And again, to my knowledge, I'm not showing any reason why they should be back there. And neither one of them have taken a pit stop either. So checking in just to make sure, and it does show they have a pit stop. So yes, they just came in the pits, both of them did, and took tires and fuel.
That's kind of an odd call considering there's only 5 laps to go. Make it 4 on this restart, and Keneally, all he's got to do is do exactly that. Get away from the field. Tuckness stuck on the outside here. Now Heath Ropp going for it. contact between Tuckness and the 90 of Dennis Warrens. Keneally's gone, but we're 4 wide, and we're wrecking here in turn number 3.
And, you know, I was just about to say I am in agreements with you. What kind of call was that to go down pit road? I think we may have just found out they're predicting this thing to see a caution or two more. They're going to gain a few spots, caution come out, and go for it again is probably the plan there. So we'll just see how it works out with 4 laps to go. And here's the replay just to see exactly what happened back in the Hornet's Nest.
Started right there. Contact between Tuckness and Warrens gets the worst of it. Nice job by everybody to get through that. Let's see if we can go on board the number 90 of Warrens and see what he saw when everybody was battling it out. This will be the telltale sign. Look how, I won't say tight, but look how congested it is there in the cockpit of the Legend cars. Now watch this. He's going to get a run on Tuckness. There's the initial contact. And then right there, they're 4 wide. He goes around. Now watch as everybody squeaks through. Well, not everybody. Another car got into another yellow car. Under caution once again. Closing stages here. 3 laps to go when we go back racing.
And checking in to see where our drivers are. Perkins in 8th and Matthews in 9th. So they're still mired fairly far back in this field. I just don't know if they're going to have the time they need to do it. And just as I say that, we have our race leader coming down pit road.
This is such a gutsy call by Keneally, you know, in the number 1 to pit.
We did not get fuel mileage on this. Can they maybe not make it on fuel?
Usually you can go a 40-lap main event in the official server, but that's all green. That may be what's happening here. We did not get, again, how much fuel was going to be in these cars to start this race. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to see if we can get race control to confirm this with us or not. You know, being the first race, this was information we did not get. We got the logos here today to get them in, but pertinent information, you know, like fuel mileage, how many gallons they have, because if they can go 40 on a full tank of fuel, that means they have to have somewhere around.
Here comes Heath Ropp. Heath Ropp may be out of fuel in the 77 as the lights are off on the pace truck. We go green and he came down pit road. So yeah, I think fuel mileage is playing a role here in this one. Polin's up to the lead in the number 3. I think we just have our question answered as fuel mileage is coming into play here. So now we gotta keep our eyes on this. Who can make it and who can't?
Yeah, and you know, and how many laps have we actually run? Of course, when you're running on the caution laps, even though they don't count, I know for dirt, if you're under caution, that fuel does not leave the car for whatever reason. Is it on asphalt, or on asphalt does it count? We don't know this. I don't know. I have to look up and see. Maybe get a hold of iRacing to find out that answer. But Polin's out front is of course, CRN 1 to go is out, and we're going to have our winner, which is David Polin's here in the Legends. But fuel mileage definitely, I think, was a strategy.
Yeah, Perkins was able to get back up to 2nd with Matthews 3rd. Robbie Keneally is going to come home in 9th. And there may have been a big accident at the end of this one. There's a lot of cars below the apron here, but there's your winner of the season debut here of the AIRL Legends. David Polin's getting it here, making it work, and I believe he may have come on pit road earlier to get some of that damage repaired, and he may have put just enough fuel in there to go the distance.
Yeah, he definitely came in just a little bit early. 16 laps ago, so he came down just about the halfway point as he's going to try to burn them down here. As we'll go ahead and, of course, pull up your unofficial race results here for tonight's race. And, of course, like you said, David Polin's getting the win, followed by Jake Perkins and Matthew Ryans, like you said, as they work their way back up to 2nd and 3rd. Jacob Putman in 4th, Tanner Griffith in 5th, Tyler Payne. After some troubles there of his own, he works his way back up to 6th. Cody Moorcroft to 7th. Derrickson Poluski to 8th. Robbie Keneally just has to pit there at the last minute, led almost every lap, but falls to 9th place. Jonathan Tutness round out your top 10.
Coming home in the 11th spot was Jeffrey Wallace in the 99, Luke Brown in 12th, Timothy Triplett in 13th, one lap down, 12 cars on the lead lap. Heath Ropp was leading to the green and had to pit under that last restart as his car came in. Robert Warnes, Dennis Warnes, Travis Hoffler, Eric Steele, and William Klingbeil round out your 19-car field in this one. So an interesting season opener here at South Boston for the AIRL Legends, and for the Legend drivers who are not competing in the super late models, it's on the Southern National next week to see how it goes for them there, to see if they can bounce back after an interesting race. Fuel mileage coming into play here in this 30 lap Legends race.
Yeah, it definitely is. And of course, we're going to step away real quick. When we come back, we'll have your post-race wrap up here in just a moment. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome back to South Boston, Virginia, ladies and gentlemen. Legend car race in the books, and a very interesting finish, as we were not expecting fuel mileage to come into play in this 30-lap main event, but it does, as David Polins cracks open the win count here in the season opener for the AIRL Legend cars. We've got our top three here. We're going to catch up at third place, Ryan Matthews. And Ryan, you were right up there in the podium for much of the race with damage on the right side. First question, tell the viewers at home how much of a difference it is driving a car without the right front fender on as opposed to with.
Yeah, unfortunately, someone had spun out right in front of us, and there was really nowhere we could go. So we got got caught up in that, and it gave us a little bit of nose damage and right front damage as well. And I think I was actually down on power right with David. I had no speed halfway down the straightaway, so it's definitely a lot different. It knocked the toe out and made the car way tighter than it was, so it was a little bit of a struggle, but we were able to make the most out of it.
Well, Ryan, you were one of the first drivers to come down pit road to top off on fuel there near the end. Was that something that you guys were expecting to have to do, or did that come as a surprise? Because it came to a surprise to us here in the tower when all of a sudden fuel mileage started creeping its way up in the end. Was that something you guys were expecting, or did that kind of just catch everybody off guard?
Yeah, definitely not something we were expecting. Nobody really paid attention to how much fuel was in the car until about halfway, and we realized we had like half a gallon left for another 15 laps with caution laps not counting. So it was a little scary. So, I was saving probably about halfway to the end, and we got one of the cautions towards the end, and I figured it was probably smart to pit and just take an extra gallon of fuel just to be on the safer side. And we came up 2 spots short, but David played out the strategy right and was able to take him to win.
All right, well, a third place here for the season opener for South Boston here in the Legend Cars. We'll talk about what's next for the Legend Cars because we're going to Kenly, North Carolina, and Southern National, the high bank here. What are you going to take here tonight and apply it to that and get ready for race number 2 of the Legend Cars?
Yeah, Southern National is a fun track. I've been there a few times in real life. It's a lot of fun, and it's a tight track. The center of the corner is really tight usually for any car there. So, it's kind of two totally different driving styles coming from South Boston to Southern National, but I'm sure get some practice in and we'll be up there.
All right, well, it's a third place for you here in the season opener and a chance to thank your sponsors. Who got you here to third tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank all my sponsors: S&M Auto Service, Carwin Racing Solutions, Denise Matthews Real Estate, Pembleton Forest Products, James River Nurseries, Mechanicsville Paint and Body Shop, and obviously, Tyler Payne for putting on this league, and LSR TV for broadcasting.
Third place, Ryan Matthews fights for a podium and gets it done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now I believe Charles has made his way down to catch up with second place, Jake Perkins.
Well, unfortunately, Jake Perkins is not here with us. He has skipped his media obligations. So I'll just verbatim what he would say. He would probably say, "I'm just here so I don't get fined." All right, that interview's over. We're moving on to our race winner, David Valens. David, you get the win here tonight, and we see all the lights flashing. They're taking your picture. You're celebrating. You get the first win here on the season for the season opener of the Ryco Motorsports American iRacing League. Is it, whether there's playoffs, no playoffs, anything like that, does it feel nice to get that win right off the bat and get that monkey off your back?
Oh, man, definitely, because this is probably my third league season when it comes to different leagues that I've been in. And, my first one was actually running 87 classic cars. It was a lot of fun. And, I kept finishing second, third, and leading a ton of laps, just couldn't pull it off. Well, we go to Bristol and slide up. I just barely touched the fence with 2 to go, and the car gets glued to the fence, iRacing style, just kind of glitched out, and I lost that race, and it just seemed like I could never get the monkey off my back. Well, 3 races ago, I won my first one, and I'm on 3 in a row. So something's going my way, and even getting mired in all those wrecks, it's like unbelievable. I was in, I want to say 2 wrecks for sure, and almost 3, and that second one I hit head on. I had no power, and I was just fortunate enough the fuel played out the way it did. I'd like to say I was a genius, but I accidentally filled up the tank with how many times I had to come down and fix the car, and just turned out being my night, I guess.
Well, they say one man's trash is another man's treasure. In this case, your trash car happened to be your treasure at the same time. So it works out for you. You get the win here tonight. An outstanding run here. Obviously, Keneally had to come down. You had already done it accidentally, but hey, it still counts. It's a win. Who do you got on that car to thank you or thank for making it as fast as it was here tonight?
I got to thank my real life sponsor, DPF Services. They're the only one I got on a car. I just got to thank them. And then I got Sign Design Co. down in Charleston, South Carolina. They hook it up really good for you if you want a good looking car. If you want it to look like my car, he could do it. He might shoot you because it's like wrapping a balloon with decals, but it's good looking stuff he puts on down there. Just again, thanks to Tyler Payne and everybody, and look forward to go getting them in a super race. Hopefully this time I don't gotta run into 2 or 3 wrecks to get a win in this one.
Well, let's hope for a little bit cleaner race for you coming into the next race. And again, congrats on the win. Greg, we may have a little bit of a wait here. Not sure what the calling is on the next server, as I do not see it ready to go. But your final thoughts overall here for tonight's race?
Just a fun race here at South Boston, Virginia, with the amount of drivers in this race at the Legend Car race that are also planning on competing in the super late models. They got to get through tech, so it's going to be a few moments before we get the super late models on track, because they still got to get through technical inspection. That's why we're being delayed right now, getting everybody strapped in and ready to go. So we are going to take a bit of a break here tonight on LSR TV. Give us a chance to pay the bills and thank the guys who make it possible for us to do it. We got to thank our sponsors. We'll be back with the 75 lap super late model portion presenting the AIRL season debut here at South Boston. Super late models for 75 laps coming up next here on LSR TV, your home for sim racing and CRN Sports Radio.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland of CRN Sports, one of the co-founders. I'm also one of the announcers on Live Sim Racing, LSR TV. We've recently partnered with LiveSimRacing.com to become the official radio partner of all of the esports events. What is CRN? Well, first off, we're going to be covering esports like it's never been done before with our MRN, PRN type radio atmosphere like you experience with NASCAR. In addition to that, we will cover the Northwest Trucking Cup Series, the Northwest Tour, and of course special events and sanctions like swag and special events like 6 Hours at Daytona and so much more. It's very simple to check out the racing action, whether on LSR TV, on Facebook and YouTube, or by listening. And that's how I want to help you real quickly. Go up simply to the website, wearecrn.com, wearecrn.com, click play, and you are set. It's that simple. We're excited to be the voice of live sim racing. We are CRN. Follow us at crn.com.
Welcome back to South Boston, Virginia, everybody. We apologize for the delay. There are some issues going on with the super late model race right now. They are working on getting it fixed right now. So as of now, we are still waiting for the practice session to begin. Something is going on with the session that the drivers would be entering. No one is allowed on the racetrack yet. Something is going on with the session, so there is a bit of a delay. We are standing by waiting for word on what's going on here with the session at South Boston Speedway. As soon as we know more, we'll let you know. We apologize for the delay. We hope you're enjoying the coverage of the AIRL season opener here at South Boston Speedway. And again, stand by for the super late model portion. We're scheduled to go 75 laps here tonight, and we will hopefully be doing that shortly, just as soon as the technical difficulties are complete. Thank you guys for your patience, and make sure that you guys get yourself a bag of chips and a soda pop, and get ready for the season opener for the super late models. 75 laps coming up at South Boston Speedway. Thanks for your patience. We'll be back with you shortly.
car? You could take me for a ride any day.
Hey, you take me for a stroll anytime. I can see you with me.
We're based out of West Monroe, Louisiana. We do custom T-shirts, racing. We'll do any shirt. We'll do schools, churches, fundraisers. We do a ton of event shirts, as you can see on our board here, all around our banner. Personalized. I mean, we do anything. It doesn't matter to us. We got the custom rugs. We use all the, top quality shirts, inks and everything. Hoodies, hats. We do embroidered hats, embroidered shirts. Just you can call us for anything. We do offer the bag and fold, to where you can receive them and they're already labeled and tagged and bagged, ready to give out to your customer and stuff. So you just call us and just tell us, hey, this is what we're looking at doing, and if we're going to put the car on there, it is 125 quantity minimum. If it's without the car, it's 60 quantity minimum. That's strictly on the racing stuff. If it's a business or something, if you race on Texas shirts, it's a little bit differently. You can call us. It just depends on your quantity and ink colors. Everything is hand drawn. I mean, everything. We don't Photoshop anything onto a shirt or anything like that. Everything that we go through, everything is drawn, and which is the reason for the art fees. We do have several graphic artists that draw for us, and they're really good. So what we do is on any package that you do, we can mix and match. We can do any colors. You can do purple, red, blue, green, and do the rest black. It doesn't matter to us. With your design on there, we can do hoodies. We can do hoodies, long sleeve shirts, T-shirts, tank tops. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's almost limitless what you can do, and you can put all that together in that package to make that minimum, requirements. They can call us 318-278-7191, or they can email us at bulletprooftees.yahoo.com, or they can go to the website bulletprooftees.com.
Welcome back to South Boston, everybody, as the super late models have taken to the racetrack here tonight for their 75 lap main event coming up. We're wrapping up practice here in about 10 minutes or so, giving these drivers a chance to go. So Charles, legend race in the books. David Polins gets the win in the legend car race, and right now he's sitting top 5 in practice in the early going. So the 33, quite a bit of speed here tonight for both drivers.
Yeah, he's got a lot of speed, these cars, you're going to see faster times for sure. 75 laps, caution laps do count. I expect it to go by fairly quickly. Hopefully it does anyway. Of course, we're running a little bit behind due to some server issues. But we have an extended pre-show here, as we got about 8 minutes to talk, and I'm fairly certain that I don't want to ramble that long, and the fans don't want to hear us just ramble, because probably cheesecake or something, taco wings, will come up if we have that too much free time on our hands. That being said, I do want to bring a driver in here. That is Brandon Gagnon from Swag Esports. Of course, Swag sponsoring this, a different Swag. It is, of course, Smith Wraps and Graphics. I use them personally. I recommend them. Check them out at Smith Wraps and Graphics on Facebook. That being said, Brandon, what do you got to do to get a win here tonight?
Got to learn how to drive this track, drive this car, not eat chicken wings or cheesecake.
I don't know, Greg. I think personally those could both help you win if you ate them.
I'm gonna make a big vouch for the cheesecake right now. Yes, that will help you.
There you go.
All right.
It's official. Cheesecake will help you win.
No, it's going to be patience here, guys. You got to let the car come to you. It's everybody's probably on a little bit different setup, and it's going to be being patient. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It should be a good time. To y'all's point, it's probably going to go by really fast.
Definitely looking forward to seeing how the race goes, and of course possibly getting to talk to you a little bit later on tonight. I just can't get enough of my Brandon. I call him like 8 times a day just to talk to him. So
and I'll always answer the phone. So I appreciate you guys bringing me on, and thank you guys for being patient and as always putting on the broadcast.
Well, definitely we'll be talking to you here in a bit. We'll get you back down to your radio communications right there. And Greg, patience, a key obviously with any form of racing, especially short track racing. You have to be patient to get around this track, as we're here at South Boston Speedway, or SoBo as it's also known as. Definitely good racing in store. I know one driver couldn't make it, Bladen Edwards. That's unfortunate, but a solid field here of 19 drivers.
Yeah, it's 19 drivers, and look at some of the names we've got here in this one. Trayton Lapsevich in the number 32, of course. Ryan Kuhn in this field. Dalton Collins, to name a few big ones in this field. So this is going to be a great race, and 75 laps, like we talked about, going to take away very quickly.
Yeah, they are indeed, and I didn't even know we had a 112 in the league, but somehow we have a number plate for him. I'm not sure how that works out, but Matthews was the 51 earlier. He's the 051 here tonight, as Pete Pelini also the 51, and Pete got in here first. He said, I'm taking that number. So Matthews will still be the 51. So we have 2 51s here in this race tonight. Matthews and, of course, Pete Pelini. So we'll see. Ryan Kuhn going to be in here as well. Eric Steele, Derek Nickel. We have Derek Fulton. So 2 Dereks in here. We'll see how all these drivers stack up tonight.
Glad to see Eric Steele has re-entered orbit and gotten everything settled down after his adventure into space earlier today. Did a quick slingshot around the moon Armageddon style and came right back down in the Legends race. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, if you just tuned in, you missed the Legends race, make sure you catch the replay, because Eric went for a ride in his number... I'm drawing a blank on which one it was, 32, I believe. He went on a trip, his favorite rocket ship, in the Legend cars, and went clean up around the moon earlier today, hoping to keep all 4 tires on the ground here at South Boston for the super late models here tonight, Charles.
Yeah, and I'm not going to give away everything, but there is stuff in the works with these cars, and or possibly modifieds and dirt super late models and lots of things. So make sure you check out the new website there for us, livesimracingtv.com. We'll also be debuting our website for Upper Edge hopefully this weekend or early next week. We'll be finishing up and getting everything set up from there. You never know. I really like the way that website looks. We may just merge the two together and have like a Upper TV or something. I don't know. We'll see some. LSR TV's not going anywhere, but you never know what we'll do around here. But Ryan Matthews, the fastest time in here with a 14.523. They have 3 minutes left before we move into qualifying. And again, Greg, we mentioned it earlier, just like the Legends, there is no heat race. It is strictly qualifying. And then, of course, a 75 lap race here tonight.
75 laps the distance here tonight, and as they get practice away, Charles, again, you talked about if you like this style of car, stay tuned for something in the works. One thing that's already scheduled and ready to go this Sunday, the iRacing.com Northwest Tour, brought to you by Joe's Racing Products, hits the track at the famous North Wilkesboro Speedway for 150 laps, race number 2 of their season. And if you missed the Northwest Tour race at USA International, go back through the archives archives here on LSR TV as soon as this race is over and check out the replay because that was one heck of a show. Charles, you and Wesley Outland, the Joe's Racing reporter, you guys kept giving me a hard time in the months leading up to this. You keep hyping up this tour. It better be good. It better be good. And I have to say, I'm pretty sure that race at USA exceeded expectations that you guys had set for this.
It was all right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get fired by Seth and BJ after tonight. No, it was an amazing race. We set so many records. 82 people watching live for that race. I want to see if we can top that. I have a goal, and I think Seth and BJ said it as well. We want 100 people live watching that race at peak, if not more. If we can go for more, that would be even better. But that's what we're shooting for. At least 100 people watching. We're only 18 away from that from last week's race. I know we can do it. We got the fans out there supporting it. Of course, all our loyal fans here on LSR TV. And what else we have coming up? That is 1 minute till qualifying.
1 minute till qualifying, and you're going to want to tune in as well because hearing that the title sponsor of this race, one of my actual tracks that I work at, the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, I'm a track announcer there, and they have stepped up to sponsor this race here this weekend for the Northwest Tour. Here, they've got a little something in the works as well, and you are going to want to tune in to the race on Sunday night because you may be coming home with a little something if you play your cards right here on Sunday night. So something cool in the works courtesy of that sponsor. But while we're here talking about sponsors getting ready to qualify, let's give a quick shout to our sponsors for this race. Of course, all races are brought to you by Ryko Motorsports. They're the ones putting the setup here tonight for the super late models and the legend cars. Big thanks to Ryko for stepping up the Ryko AIRL Racing League. And tonight's Super Late Model race is brought to you by Smith Wraps and Graphics Swag. Call the Sharks for all your graphics and wraps needs here at that phone number right there. Swag Wraps and Graphics, the official sponsor of the AIRL Super Late Models here tonight. Charles, qualifying kitten set to come up now, and we're going to start it off with your winner in the Legend Cars earlier today, David Polins, capitalizing on some fuel mileage to get it done in the Legends, looking to go back-to-back here and sweep the night.
Yeah, he definitely going to try. And, I know we're over the sponsor part, but you never can be over your sponsors. I just want to elaborate there, especially with, Smith Wraps and Graphics. Again, I use them personally for my RC car, and that's where I want to get. They will pretty much do anything. It doesn't matter how small it is. They will find a way to get it printed, and I was super thrilled when I got them in the mail, which took forever, by the way, because the post office decided to mail it to South Dakota or Dakota or something like that before here. But as qualifying underway, definitely use them. Small graphics, big graphics, they're absolutely amazing. Pre-cut out for you. It couldn't have been better. So good to see them on here as a sponsor. Of course, a sponsor of LSR TV as well. But Ryan Matthews at the top of the charts right now with a 14.524 is Robbie Kellini gonna go around there just a little bit. And Greg, 2 seconds faster than the Legends here with these super late models.
No surprise, big horsepower, slick tires. They're going to be ripping around here in this one for super late model racing here tonight. 13 drivers have taken time. We've already seen one driver get parked for the night. Devin Morgan has been parked and loaded up and gone home, so we will not see him. We will see Kyle Fowler, though, in the number 5 on track here for this one. He goes middle of the pack. He goes 7th at this one, a 14.722, and he looped it and noses it into the wall. Fortunately for the number 5, he will have a backup car ready for this feature event. 75 laps tonight. Ryan Matthews, Landon Pembleton in the number 0 goes 2nd on lap number 1. We've seen him on the channel before in another series, and watch out for him, Charles. We saw him in Iowa a few weeks ago, and he is going to settle for 2nd. Watch out for Pembleton to take a shot at a win here tonight. Then Trayton Lapsevich, Robbie Keneally, Dalton Collins, 3 of the big dogs of super late model racing in the iRacing realms right now. You've got Ryan Kuhn, who has yet to hit the track right now. Kuhn, I believe, I may be wrong on this, not sure, but I believe he is the overall Super Late Model points leader in the iRacing official server right now. I believe is what's going on there with Kuhn. We'll have to see for sure. He rolls out on track now in his number 72. Got some big dogs in the field here tonight for the AIRL Super Late Models, brought to you by Smith Wraps and Graphics.
We don't typically go for one particular driver, but of course we do the write-ups on the website. We take photos. I would love to see that car there on the website. That is a sharp-looking ride there for Ryan Kuhn as he takes the top time on his first lap.
Oh, if only the executive producer could come up with a way to get that car on. We could come up with a little something and get that car on the homepage. Maybe we can see if he does hold on for the pole, which it looks like he will, as he was the 18th and final car to go out there. So believe this is going to be it, and Ryan Kuhn is going to get the pole here for the 75-lap main event here tonight. Devin Morgan, of course, has been parked, and Cody Olsen is up in the tower. So Ryan out there with quick time, 14.479.
Yeah, he'll take a top time here with 40 seconds left to go for the Ryco AIRL, or of course the Ryco Motorsports All-American iRacing League. As again, this is the season opener for the Super Late Models for Season 2. Had a few difficulties there getting stuff going. Something did not want to fire right. So hopefully that's not signs of things to come here during the race. But either way, caution laps will count, so it won't be too big of a deal. But we are just about ready as they are starting to grid. So, of course, the grid means one thing, Greg. That means it's time to go through the one and only, and that is your ComServe Wireless starting grid. And, of course, on row 1 is going to be the 72 of Ryan Kuhn, and on his outside is going to be Ryan Matthews. On row 2 is going to be the 00 of Landon Pembleton, and the 32 of Trenton Lapovich.
Robbie Keneally led the most laps in the Legends race, but came up just a little bit short in the Reaper number 1, looking to bounce back with Dalton Collins, one of the top Super Late Model drivers in history for iRacing. He's got Reaper on board as well in the number 95. Tyler Payne, the champion of the Legend cars in the Fall Brawl series, rolls off in 7th, with David Pollin's Legends winner, rounding the 8th spot.
In 9th and 10th, going to be the 70 of Derek Fulton, usually sporting the 7. We'll see if it's on his car as 7, but 70 here tonight. And his outside is going to be the 5 of Kyle Fowler. In row number 6 is going to be the 02 of Jay Jensen, and the 54 of Curtis Critchley.
Want to watch Critchley as well in the 54. Derek Nickel in the number 18 on screen, 17 on ticker. He will roll off in 13th. Cody Jordan in the number 12 on your ticker, but it looks like he's got 08 on the car. He rolls off 14th. We talked to Brandon Gagnon a moment ago. He is in 15th, along with Pete Polini, the champion of the Fall Brawl in the Super Late Models, in 16th. The final 2 cars in this one, Charles, are Travis Hoffler in the 20, looking for a bounce back after a rough Legends race, and Eric Steele, who's just trying to keep all 4 tires on the ground here tonight.
Yeah, he is just trying to keep all tires planted on the ground as he's just back from entering the atmosphere from that little adventure earlier. So he obviously does not want to go for another ride. But look at this front row right here. Ryan Kuhn's in the 72 and the 51 of Pete Polini. I believe that's Polini. And again, there's 2 51s in here. It may not be Polini. That may be the other 51, but that either way,
Matthews.
Yeah, I thought so. We got the 51M of Matthews there, but look at these rides, man. These things, man, they paint them up looking good.
Yeah, this is an awesome looking field here tonight. I love the Reaper Speed Lab cars there. You got Trayton Lapsevich, Robbie Keneally, and Dalton Collins, all with Reaper Speed Lab on board. And then you got Aga on board, the number 18. Some other drivers. You see Derek Fulton. He's got the Phantom graphics on board. The number 7. That will be number 7 on your screen. Some great looking cars here. But as they come around, lights are off on the iRacing.com Mustang field in the hands of Ryan Kuhn. So race fans, wipe the visor. Just the 5-point harness pace car ducks off because it is showtime at South Boston.
Yeah, showtime indeed. And already the 72 going to get a little bit of a jump there as he slides in. That's going to leave Matthews on the outside lane. He's got to get down to the bottom. I don't think you want to be up on that high side as he gets way loose, and that's why right there these cars may be a little bit looser than those Legends. Where's the caution going to be out? And it's going to be for Jay Jensen, who's in the 0-2, and he is backwards on the track.
The wrong way on the one-way here at South Boston. Take a look at the swag replay and see if we can't figure out what went wrong here. The 0-2 of Jensen. That's Fulton and Fowler in front of him. They rip down. This is going into turn number 3 through 3 and 4. This is right around where it started for him. It would look like Fowler may have got the wall and nowhere to go for Jensen as he had to hurry and get out of the way.
Yeah, he did. We're going to take one more look at that. Of course, we have our blimp view. In this case, a drone view brought to you by All American Pools. And you're right, the 5 of Kyler Fowler, he gets really loose here in just a second. And right, no, coming around the expert. I'm not sure if he did tag the wall or he got loose and then tagged the wall. Either way, right there, he gets loose,
right there,
tags the wall.
Tag the wall. Boy, how about the 18 getting through that just barely?
Yeah, these guys, they definitely know what they're doing getting around these corners. Unfortunately, the 0-2 goes around, and Ryan Kuhn still your race leader here as we're on lap 4 of 75. Again, caution laps will be counting here this time, so it should still go fairly quickly.
Caution laps are counting in this one. Already working lap number 5. Ryan Kuhn leading the way. Lapsevich in second. Ryan Matthews back to 3rd. Landon Pemberton, you got to keep your eye on him. And then a couple more of the Reaper cars. Dalton Collins and Robbie Keneally up there. David Bolin's Legend winner, Tyler Payne, Derek Fulton, Kyle Fowler. Currently your top 10. We're going to be working lap number 6 as they stack them up 2 by 2 for this restart. Expecting this one to be a little bit cleaner because the tires are going to have a little bit more heat in them here tonight, or for this one, Charles. I think that's what happened to the 5-1 of Matthews. Just didn't have the tires all the way heated up and saw what happened there.
Yeah, again, I just don't know how this race is going to go. Hopefully we don't see the yellow flag too often here tonight, but we've already seen it once in less than 10 laps as we see the 72 of Kuhn gets a nice jump. And here's the Lapevich. He has worked his way into second position in that number 32 Reaper setup shot machine. The question is, and you're right, it's Speed Lab. Reaper Speed Labs is the name of the company. It took me a minute to find it there, and you know, does that logo look oddly familiar there, the Reaper part?
Just a little bit on the hood here of the 32 of Lapsevich. Gotta love it. Love these cars. You got 3 of them in the field. Lapsevich, Collins, and Keneally, each with a different theme on it, I guess you could say. Lapsevich in silver, Keneally in white, Collins in black. Then you got several awesome looking cars spread throughout the field. I mean, there's another one, Ryan Matthews. I don't think there's a bad looking car in this field. There are some amazing looking paint schemes. Shout out to all the great painters on iRacing who painted these cars up. There's Brandon Gagnon. We talked to him in the pre-race show, trying to make his way up through the field. Definitely want to keep an eye on Curtis Critchley, repping the Canadian Navy on board the number 54, and no doubt he's going to be one to watch as around goes Gagnon, and here we got a stack up.
We got a big stack up there, and I think he just got loose. Again, we're going to go back to the drone view. I think that's our best bet here on this little tiny track to figure out exactly what happened. But, Greg, I really do think he just got loose. Yeah,
that started in front of him there. The 18 of Payne into the other 18 there. Critchley getting by, so contact with me.
Shot. So yeah, that
Two
was
separate incidents there.
That was a definite shot in the shorts here. So we'll take one more quick look at this as we can go riding on board with Pete Polini, and you'll see this just a shot. And maybe I don't think it was aggression, but maybe McConey don't like Ryko. What do you think? Battle of the...
Oh no, we'll see. I don't think this was anything intentional. It's just a little bit too much speed there, and McConey and Ryko having a little conversation there in this one. So Polini repping McConey speed shop, or McConey setup shop, excuse me, on board his number 51. That's got to be interesting having a McConey car running a Ryko setup here tonight. Wonder the conversation in the crew down there on the 51 car.
Yeah, we've got Reaper Speed Labs. We've got Ryko in here. Of course, Ryko being the official one of the series. And, of course, now we have McConey in here as well. So, yeah, very interesting to see all the names on the cars. But only one name matters here tonight, and that is, of course, Ryko Setup Shop. And, of course, Smith Wraps and Graphics presenting this series, as the green flag is back out once again. And look at that, number 32. That is Lapovich. He is on the outside, and he is scraping the walls. He comes by trying to take the lead.
The three Reapers are on the outside there. Lapsevich, Collins, and Keneally all trying to get up there. Soon will clear Lapsevich, who gets a little bit loose off of turn number 2 there. Tires beginning to heat up, working lap number 17 of 75 here in this one. Kuhn, Lapsevich, Matthews, your top 3. Single file throughout most of the front stages of the field now. Polins has worked his way up into 5th. Keneally with a big slide. Pemberton had to slide to avoid running into the back of him. Noticing some damage on the right front of Landon Pemberton's car in the number 0. That's not going to help his cause at all in the number 0. But I'm going to be keeping an eye on Pemberton this year. I can boldly make a claim that I think that's going to win 1, maybe even 2, maybe more races. But I'm almost willing to bet you will see the 0 of Pemberton in victory lane at some point here this season in the AIRL. Keep your eyes on that 0 car throughout the course of the season.
Well, even if he doesn't win a race, I'll give you this. He's going to win best looking paint job. Maybe I'm just a sucker for the color. I love that bright, and I call it highlighter orange, highlighter yellow. It's a real bright orange, black and gray and white. The color combo, you just can't beat it, in my opinion.
That is such a sharp looking car. This series is chock full here, Charles, of paint schemes. And just noticed another setup shop in the field. I'm looking at the number 17 on ticker, 18 on screen, Derek Nickel. He's got Rocket Racing setups on board his number 18. So another setup shop in the field tonight, bringing out all the big boys. Here is the AIRL. Ryko Motorsports definitely going to be happy about that, saying, hey, we've got all these different drivers from all these different teams, all these different speed shops. They're all running our stuff here tonight in the AIRL. Kuhn leading the way. Lapsevich has fallen back a little bit, almost 3/4 of a second now. Back to Lapsevich. Matthews putting pressure on in the 51. Collins and Polins, your top 5.
Yeah, the top 5 is sitting there on sale right now, as it's still Kuhn out front. I heard this guy would be hard to beat if he came in here, and you can see the gap right there between first and second. Then you have a little bit of a gap to second and third, but not much, as Ryan Matthews trying to get up there and make something happen. And by the way, this is the longest green flag run we've had so far after that first caution.
Well, you just jinxed it, and I'm expecting a yellow flag here in the next 5 laps, as the commentator's curse seems to strike whenever we start talking about long green flag runs. I'm watching Polins and Keneally battling right now for 5th and 6th. This was kind of the story of the legend car race earlier tonight. Keneally in the number 1 led the most laps, but ran out of fuel. Under caution, had to pit. David Polins was able to capitalize and get the win here in the Legend Cars. So Keneally trying to prove, hey, I can run up front. I can beat you, David. I just ran out of fuel, and I'm going to be looking for some redemption. Another national next week in this series. Keneally with the Reaper Speed Lab on board in the number 1, trying to hold on to 5th right now and track down his teammate Dalton Collins in the 95. Always have to keep an eye on Dalton Collins anytime he's in the super late model, Charles. Very fast driver, one of the all-time best of iRacing in the super late model ranks, but right now they're all chasing, in my opinion, the #1 driver in the super late model ranks right now on iRacing, and that's Ryan Kuhn.
Yeah, Ryan Kuhn is out front. Said, see you later. I'll see y'all in Victory Lane or in the tech area later on, as I'm collecting my trophy and hanging out with the trophy girl later on. As we'll see again right now, lap 32 of 75, 44 laps to go. We are nearing the halfway point here very quickly. When you're running 14-second laps, they're going to tick away very quickly, and before you know it, this race will be over. So if you are anybody but Kuhn, like Lapovich, Matthews, Collins, Kenley, and Lindsay, you have got to do something to get to the front.
One guy who's struggling right now is the Phantom Graphics #7 of Derek Fulton. He's getting freight trained on the outside deep in the field, getting passed now by Jensen and Gagnon. Something happened to the 7 of Fulton. He got shuffled back, and that's what happens when you get this single file line going right now, Charles. Your car's stuck on the outside like Fulton is now. He's going to fall in line here finally in the #7, but when you get these cars going like this and clicking laps away, you get stuck on the outside. You're stuck up there while the freight train passes you on the inside, so that was definitely a tough break for Fulton to have to fall all the way to the back there. 17th, the only driver behind him is Hoffler in the #20, who has a lot of damage on his car, and Hoffler is just going to want to forget his night at South Boston after struggling in a legend race and having that happen again here in the super late models. He's about to go a lap down right now to Ryan Kuhn in the #72. Lapsevich, Matthews, Collins, Keneally are top 5, but Kuhn has opened it up a second now over Lapsevich. It looks like this Ryko setup, Kuhn definitely likes the way it handles on the long run.
Yeah, it's definitely a well-handling car, at least for Kuhn anyway. And I would say your top 5 as they're definitely checking out. But again, Kuhn about to lap Hoffler there. You can see Hoffler just in front of him as you're on board with Kuhn. You know, it'll probably be, what you say, 5 laps, maybe less, and he'll be lapping him.
He's coming up very quickly. Ryan Kuhn is in the #72, real life super late model driver in the series. That's why you see the pass banner on board that #72. So definitely knows a thing or two about super late model racing. Races, of course, in the past series, repping that series here on his super late model. And again, we talked about it in qualifying. That is a very, very sharp looking car as he is dominating this race right now, working lap number 51. We're about 2 or 3 laps from halfway. Kuhn's led every lap thus far, and now that we got a long green flag run, he's really begun to open it up now over Lapsevich in the #32, who has also come into his own as a super late model driver in real life. Lapsevich started on the pole in the Winchester 400, did Trayton Lapsevich up in Indiana, so he's no stranger to big super late model races either. Then you got Ryan Matthews, Collins, and Robbie Keneally. Keneally, just 13 years old, and he is a junior late model driver in the 5150 junior late models that race at Madera, California, so keep your eyes out for him to make moves here in the future. In the #1, Keneally pulled away from Polins, now going after his teammate Collins.
Yeah, and we're coming up, by the way, my math was a little off there apparently. We are 32 laps to go. We are past the halfway point. Kuhn out front. We're coming up on 30 to go. Could we go the rest of this way caution free? I don't think any fuel is going to come into this one like it did the last one, but you know, the question still, could we possibly go caution free the last 30 laps of this race after only having 1 caution on lap 4?
Well, I mean, it could happen, and they have done a fantastic job clicking these laps away. And once these super late model drivers get into a rhythm, it's really hard to break that rhythm. We've seen it on the tour. We saw it on the Northwestern Sunday at USA, expecting more of the same at North Wilkesboro. If you can get into a rhythm in a super late model, you're going to see long green flag runs, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. Checking in with Pete Polini in the #51, the Maconi setup shop. There's a caution, so yep, commentator's jinx strikes us once again as I was checking in on Polini, and it's Jensen in the 02 for the second time here tonight going around.
Well, see, first off, it was more than 5 laps later. And 2, this is his second caution. So can that really count as a, you know, he was already an eye for a caution as he's been in one, so I don't know if that counts for me.
I'm not sure what we go. Oh, well, I am sure that there was some contact there between him and the 8 of Eric still going around there on the backstretch to put us under this caution. So that's what happened there with the 0-2 of Jensen. Under caution for the second time here tonight, working lap number 50. 25 to go when they cross the line this time.
And here's what happened. He tries to go on and gets a run, couldn't complete it, goes underneath, and, you know, the 0-2 of Jay Jensen scrapes the wall. The 8 also kind of slid up the track just a little bit. I definitely think just a racing deal.
Yeah, racing deal for sure on that one. Under caution here with 25 laps to go. Ryan Kuhn has led every lap thus far in his number 72, but Lapsevich putting pressure on. Keep your eyes on him on this restart. As I've noticed, kind of like what we saw with Robbie Keneally in the Legends race, Kuhn takes a couple laps to really get into a rhythm, but once he does, he is gone. So we'll have to see what happens on this restart. Ryan Matthews has done a great job hanging in third, looking for a podium in both races here tonight. Keneally behind Collins, that's your top. Polins, Critchley, Pemberton, Payne, Fowler up. You're having the sliding around earlier.
Hey, again, 24 laps to go. You know, I guess I jinxed it. I was asked if we could go the rest of the way caution free. The answer was no. I was told no by the drivers there. You know, but I have to ask the question. 24 to go. 2 cautions, breed cautions here tonight. We've only had 2. Lap 4 and around lap 20 to go. So do cautions breed cautions, or are these guys going to take it a little easier on the season opener?
Well, these are some of the best super late model drivers they are on iRacing, so I think we should be pretty good if I had to guess. I don't think we're going to see it get too dirty here, but you never know what can happen, especially with a season debut win on LSR TV on the line here. The Mustang's going to pull off and allow the Toyota of Ryan Kuhn to jump out and get going as the green flag falls back underway. And again, a nice restart from Ryan Kuhn into number 72. Got to watch him in an official race here at South Boston in the Super Late Models not too long ago, and he dominated that one, led every single one of the 100 laps. So Kuhn is definitely fast, but hey, we got a caution again, so maybe that is going to be the case here.
Yeah, and this time it's going to be that Rocket Racing setups number 18 of Derek Nickel, as we go back and take a look and see exactly what happened to him. And again, cautions starting to breed cautions with 21 laps to go, and this time a little contact with Kyle Fowler in the 5. And let's go back and take that. May have been
let's take a look at the drone cam brought to you by All American Pools on this one. I'm gonna need to see a second look on this.
And again, keep your eye on the pink and white number 5 and the red and the white number 18 on your screen. And you'll see here in a minute, right there's contact. And here comes the 5 of Kyle Fowler right there. Gives him a shot in the shorts, possibly a little bit of payback.
Maybe. We're not going to, of course, accuse of it, but he has been given a penalty in this one, has the 5 of Fowler, so he's going to the tail end of the field, was up in 10th on that restart.
Again, we reiterate. Oh, go ahead.
I said less than 20 to go in this one. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah, we like to reiterate, just like race results, all accusations of retaliation are unofficial until we go into next week's race and we find out if they were DQ'd or parked for any particular reason. Then it's official.
Yeah, we have to let the folks in the tower who know what the heck they're doing as far as that goes happen, because if it was me and you, Charles, calling the race, I think we would be instructing them, hey, don't take that, hit him back, hit him back, don't take that. We want some spiciness here on LSR TV.
Yeah, I need that storyline. So if he rubs you the wrong way, you rub him back. That's racing, right? So,
yeah, we need the ratings.
Yes,
the ratings. I need something for my write-up, and we need the ratings. We need the views.
Yeah,
ratings
you know,
here.
as a league owner, I'm telling these guys, knock it off. As a producer, I'm saying, all right, give us something to talk about, boys. We need a good show.
And as an announcer, I'm in every minute of it. No matter what happens, Kuhn and Lapsevich going to be your leaders here on the front row. Kuhn again has led every single lap in the number 72. Lapsevich second. Matthews and Collins third and fourth. Lights are off on the Mustang. And turn the Camry loose as Ryan Kuhn once again leads the way. That, I believe, was the first time Lapsevich didn't have just a little bit of a slide on the restart. Nice restart for Lapsevich as he's going to fall in line in second here.
He's going to fall in line in second. Just behind him is going to be Ryan Matthews in the 51, trying to get a top 3 finish out of the night. 15 laps to go is all that remains here in this 75 lap race, and this battle's getting really good for second place. Really, second through about 5th place is there together. Still first place, Ryan Kuhn has checked out from this field with a almost 4/10 second lead.
Kuhn out in front, trying to pull away from Lapsevich. Woo, big slide out of Dalton Collins, who's in 4th right now. The 3 Reaper Speed Lab entries right now, 2nd, 4th, and 5th. The newest iRacing speed shop, I guess you can call. Keneally, Collins, Lapsevich, among others. Here, repping Reaper here tonight. Those are your 3 Reapers in the field at night. It's all Ryan Kuhn up front in number 72, showing why he's one of the top-ranked super late model drivers on the server right now. Already has opened it up here, Charles. We're going to be 10 laps to go this time by.
Well, definitely, the laps are winding down. Like you said, 10 laps to go. Right there is the line. 10 to go here for the opening night of the Ryco Motorsports American iRacing League. Of course, the Super Late Models brought to you by Smith Wraps and Graphics, as Trenton Lapovich excuse me, doing everything he can, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to catch Ryan Kuhn, even with Matthews, Collins, Keneally, and Polins pushing him.
Yeah, these guys are battling it out for position, and that's what Ryan Kuhn wants to see, is them getting a little bit slicey and dicey back here for 2nd through 5th. Noticing Matthews and Lapsevich have just a little bit of a gap between themselves and Collins and Keneally, so looks like Matthews is going to be able to get a shot at Lapsevich for 2nd spot here before too long. Looks like a Toyota 1-2-3 right now, as Keneally now trying something on the outside. He's been sniffing that outside line a few times in his Mustang here tonight, Charles. I've been watching him in the number 1, trying the outside line here and there, checking it out, seeing what is going on up there. As you see it again, primarily over here in this corner he's in right now. That is 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 down on the bottom. Let's keep our eyes on Keneally, the White Reaper. Let's see what happens here going off into turn 1. Yeah, you see much higher line than the rest of the field. Wondering if he's just trying something there, or if he knows something's up there. 5 laps to go as he tries to track down his teammate Dalton Collins.
Yeah, and look here, we'll see if we can get a good shot of it coming into the next camera angle. Look at those brake rotors. They are absolutely just glowing orange right now. They are hard on the brakes with these super late models here at South Boston.
Yeah, these cars are lighting up the brake rotors right now. You got to use a ton of brake in these cars to do it, and Ryan Kuhn has done a fantastic job in his number 72. He's going to have just 2 laps to go away from a wire-to-wire victory here in this one. He's a 2.5 seconds over Trenton Lapsevich. Ryan Matthews right behind him. It's going to be a battle for 2nd as the white flag is out this time by. CRN 1 to go here for Ryan Kuhn in the number 72. It's a battle for 2nd. Everybody else battling it out, but it's all Ryan Kuhn coming through 3 and 4. He's going to start the season off with a win. He'll take it wire to wire at South Boston. Lapsevich and Matthews still battling. Lapsevich holds on over Matthews, who gets twice. Collins and Keneally round out the top 5 as Keneally goes for a big slide after.
What a race indeed. Again, 75 laps. What do we have? 3 total cautions? 2 or 3 cautions?
Yeah, 3 cautions.
Not bad at all. 3 cautions for 75 laps, as the 72 is going to burn it down and shred the rubber on those tires, and he'll celebrate his win here tonight. Hopefully we get a chance to talk with him here in the post-race show. We'll give them a minute to get them to where we can get or talk to him on radio communication. That being said, as he does his burnout, it is time, of course, for your unofficial race results. Walking away with the win here tonight is going to be the 72 of Ryan Kuhn. Again, what a run for him. In second place going to be Trenton Lapovich, Ryan Matthews, Dalton Collins, Robbie Keneally, Curtis Critchley, David Plins, Tyler Payne, Landon Pembleton, and Pete Pliny rounding out your top 10.
Cody Jordan in the number 12 comes home in 11th. Brandon Gagnon in 12th position. Derek Nickel 13th. Kyle Fowler 14th after the EOL penalty late after contact with Jay Jensen, who finished 15th. Travis Hoffler and Derek Fulton rounded out the cars on the lead lap, and rounding out the field of cars that started was Eric Steele. Of course, Cody Olson was the administrator. Devin Morgan was parked before the race started. We're going to take a quick break, thank our sponsors here on LSR TV one more time, and when we come back, we will interview, hopefully, all 3 members of our top 3 here on LSR TV, your home for sim racing and CRN Sports. Welcome back to the LSR TV post-race show here from South Boston, Virginia. Race number 2, still waiting to see if we can catch up with Ryan Kuhn, who's still down there in his race car. But in the meantime, we have caught up with 3rd place Kyle Matthews, and Kyle,
Ryan,
2nd place, or Ryan Matthews, excuse me about that. I had something else in my head there, but Ryan, 3rd place on both nights here in this one. Or both races, I should say. Not a bad start to this one.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's consistent finishes, but we were just messing a little bit both races, so not too happy about that. But we'll get back to work for next week.
Well, Ryan, tell us about that battle here with the number 32 of Lapsevich, because you guys were battling it out nose to tail virtually the entire time here at South Boston. Tell us about that battle with Trayton.
Yeah, it was a good battle. We were pretty much bumper to bumper the whole race, and I was a little better through the center, and he would kill me up off. So it's pretty tricky to pass here, especially on a fresh track. When it gets rubbered up, you can make that outside work, but with a fresh track, it's pretty hard to pass, and I just couldn't do anything with him. He had too much drive off for me to stay with him going down into the corner. So, but it was a close battle all race, and happy we kept it straight.
Well, Ryan, the third place here tonight is South Boston. Next week, we go to another track that features a lot of tight quarter racing because we're headed to the Southern National next week. We talked about it a little bit after the Legends race. Super late models, I'm going to pose the same question. What are you looking forward to about that one?
Yeah, we ran Sarah there this week, and so we got a little bit of a notebook under us, but we still got to get back to work on that. It's a tight racetrack, kind of a one group deal also, so hopefully we put something good together, and hopefully we can stay with Ryan this time.
All right, Ryan, it's a third place for you here tonight to start the season off. You got to thank him once already. Here's another shot. Thank your sponsors.
Yeah, second time tonight. Always good for the sponsors, but I got to thank S&M Auto Service, Carbon Racing Solutions, Denise Matthews Real Estate, Pembleton Forest Products, James River Nurseries, Mechanical Paint and Body Shop, the whole Leduc Matthews Racing crew for all their help and support, and Tyler Payne for putting this league on, and obviously LSR TV for broadcasting tonight's races.
Third place, Ryan Matthews. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now catching up with second place, Trayton Lapsevich. And Trayton, I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked Ryan about that battle with him throughout that lasted pretty much the whole race there. Tell us about running nose to tail with Ryan Matthews the entire race there.
Yeah, like Ryan said, he was a little better than me through the center, and I got him off. But yeah, I just struggled with a tight feeling on entry to center, and then that snapped me loose up off, but still was able to retain a decent enough drive, but just not enough to get Ryan.
Well, Trayton, you had Reaper Speed Lab on board. It's a new team that just popped up here recently, so tell us a little bit about what came together with that group to bring this group together here, and especially what brought you guys to the AIRL series.
Yeah, it's been something in the works for a while. Got together with Boyd Hogan, owner of Bobby Dale Earnhardt Legacy Esport, manager of it. We got a couple good builders, Jacob Hefner, Rob McKinley. We basically decided to start our own setup shop because we noticed there's a lot of trash talking among the others, and we just wanted to almost set them straight, I guess you'd say. But yeah, it's worked out pretty good. We got a lot of good builders, a lot of good drivers, and it's been.
All right, well, Trayton, it's a second tonight here at South Boston trying to track down Ryan Kuhn. Next week, we head to the other Southern track, Southern National, a 4/10 mile oval. You looking forward to that one here with the higher banks at Southern National next week?
I'm really a big fan of Southern National. Hopefully, what we got here can setup wise can translate over there, because I think we hit on something tonight with a little time we put into testing. The car was really.
All right, well, Trayton, I think you cut out a little bit there, but chance to thank your sponsors here after a second place here tonight at South Boston for the season opener.
Big thanks to Reaper Speed Lab. Check them out on Facebook. BD Lace Esport, Butt Kicker, Abruzzi, JH Graphics Design, and then just everyone who putting this on, LSR TV, ARL, Tyler Payne, everyone. Just a lot of fun, good first race, and excited to be back next week.
Second place, Trayton Lapsevich. Congratulations. And Charles has been scouring the pits looking. We still have yet to catch up with Ryan Kuhn, but Charles has caught up with another driver in this race.
Yeah, I did get a chance to talk to him during the race when it happened, but on my way to Victory Lane, I saw a brawl happening in the pits. So, of course, as a good reporter I am, I stopped by and checked it out, and come to find out, it was Kevin Harvick's pushing people into fights. I'm just kidding. We got Kyle Fowler here. Kyle, a little bit of shenanigans going on the track. We saw a particular driver wash up into you and get into you. Not the first contact. We asked you, did you get into him intentionally? You said yes. You didn't mean to wreck him, but you got him. What was happening down there on the track tonight?
Yeah, man, I didn't mean to wreck him. I was just frustrated. He drove over my left rear earlier in the race and let me gather it back up. And then we doored each other. And then I was fine. I moved on. And then on the restart, he started on my inside and he just went down in the corner and washed me up into the fence pretty much. Didn't hit the fence, but I got close enough. And I just had enough. And I went down there and gave him a shot in the back bumper and let him know I didn't like getting drove like that. And he spun. I took my EOL penalty and went to the back. It's not how I like to drive, but, you can only take so much getting used up when you're trying to save tires at the beginning of the race. But all in all, it was a solid night. I have fun racing with these guys, and I'm just glad Tyler Payne put on another season here.
Well, it's very short and simple. Whether you call it tempers flaring, using the chrome horns, whatever it is, you get sick of people roughing you up, and you rough them off back. Simple story. It wasn't intended to wreck anyone, but it is what it is on the racetrack. All's fair and love and more, especially on a short track like this. Greg, any final thoughts before we call it a night?
And what an awesome night here at South Boston, Virginia, the South Boston Speedway. Probably one of the premier short tracks here on the iRacing server. Always love getting to come here, and what a performance tonight, everybody. Unfortunately, we weren't able to catch up with Ryan Kuhn, but definitely dominating.
I believe we do have him. So, Greg, hop over to our other communication tower, as he got the memo and a lot of people did not. So he is actually in our other chat room.
All right, then we will get to catch up with Ryan Kuhn here in a moment.
All right, Ryan Kuhn, you got a copy. Well, we may have him. Ryan, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. Again, we're transitioning into some new things here. Good news is Ryan got the memo, Greg. He was over here waiting for us, and we didn't see it. I'm glad I caught him at the last minute. But we had a lot of them in two different places as we do the transition. But, Greg, you interviewed the other two. We'll go ahead and let you have Ryan here for the race win.
Ryan, it was a great night for you here at South Boston, leading wire to wire after starting on the pole. Man, something about this racetrack. I got to watch you in an official race a few weeks ago. You led every lap there. You led every lap tonight. Something about this track just really seems to fit you.
No, I'll be honest with you. I learned it from my spotter. This is my spotter's favorite racetrack. My buddy, my teammate Tom Saxon, he's also my real life spotter. When he comes home, a couple times a year, but this is his favorite racetrack, and he's actually taught me a few pointers here, and I finally figured it out. Finally figured out how to set up for this place. We got our supers a lot better these last 3 or 4 weeks, and we've been fast everywhere we've been.
Well, Ryan, tell us about the Super Late Model Racing here in general on iRacing, because you are one of, if not the top driver in the Super Late Model realms right now. Tell us about the Super Late Model Racing community on here, what it's like getting to have most of the top drivers in the Super Late Model scene in this series with you.
It means a lot to have a lot of top drivers in this series. I feel like there's a lot of close quarters racing. This and a lot of the NASCAR stuff is probably the closest competition you'll ever have on the entire sim. There's a lot of great drivers: Matthews, Morgan, McCollum, and a lot of the top guys from SARA that came over here, and a lot of the SARA Super Series and Contender boys. They're all very good, and it means a lot to race with all the big boys.
Well, Ryan, you get to race with them here on the AIRL series, and you pick up the win here at South Boston. Next week, we head to Kenly, North Carolina. Are you excited for a chance to turn laps at the high banks of Kenly?
Yes, we had a good car there in SARA last night, and hopefully we can continue that success next week at Southern National.
All right, Ryan, you're 1 for 1, and you've led every lap of competition thus far this season. Thank your sponsors, and who got you here tonight?
I'd like to thank Bernier's Liquors, Everett's Auto Parts, Modern Auto Body, Trent Goodrow Designs, my whole team, Ryan Kuhn Motorsports, all the boys that give me information on these cars, from contender nights to sour nights to put it into this league race event. And I feel like a lot of the official stuff, the boys do a great job giving me information to get these cars rolling really good, and I can't thank them enough.
Ryan Kuhn, your winner here in the series opener for the AIRL Super Late Models. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, well, we were getting ready to start our post-race show when we realized that we were able to catch up with Ryan Kuhn. Got kind of sidetracked there with the skirmish on pit road. They were just exchanging Christmas recipes, you know. It's the holiday time. They're just exchanging some cookie recipes down there, so no real cause for concern there. But, Charles, it was a fun night here at South Boston. We apologize again for the delay, but, Charles, a great night here at South Boston. I was giving my final thoughts there. What are your final thoughts on this one?
Well, other than a little bit of a delay there, it was definitely a good night of racing. You say they're exchanging cookie recipes. Well, it's just like every cookie I've ever bought from the store. It's a little crumbled up sometimes. So, those cookies going to be a little crumbled as we got some bent fenders and some flared tempers here tonight. But regardless of that, should be interesting next week when potential payback comes in there. We'll see. Racer's memory is a little short, so I don't know what'll happen. We'll just have to wait and see as we go into the next race.
You know what they say about racers and memories here in the realms of iRacing. We'll find out next week at Southern National, so make sure you tune in as well. Ring this notification bell and hit the subscribe button for your chance to catch all the action. Next week, the AIRL Legends and Super Late Models descend on Southern National for another 30-lap and 75-lap feature, respectively. From South Boston tonight, we say goodbye and wish you all a great weekend. For Charles Wooten in the box alongside me and in the production truck, I'm Greg Rentz. Thank you for tuning in here tonight from South Boston. We'll see you next week at the High Banks of Kenley.
This broadcast is the copyrighted work of LSR TV and may not be rebroadcast, retranslated, or used in any form without the express written consent of 52 Media LLC and iRacing.com Motorsports Simulations. LSR TV